So I've just had a golf lesson with Tiger Woods' former coach, Sean Foley. Now, what I wanted to work on, I want to work on compressing my irons, and this lesson is going to blow your mind. The detail in his coaching was incredible, and he made 2 small changes that for me feels so good, and I cannot wait to practice and actually share this lesson with you. You're going to love this. A few shots, yeah?
Sure. Good miss.
That was a good miss. My misses are good from a directional standpoint.
Okay. More contact issue?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
See?
The thing is how I look at this, it's like, okay, where's all the low-hanging fruit? So how much can we improve changing the fundamentals? For me, my main concern is making sure that players have accuracy and good contact. If we get faster, that's great too, but that's never really ultimately the goal. I think if you have good contact, you hit it further. And if you have good movement, you hit it further.
Yeah.
So when I'm teaching people, it's as much an interview as, asking like, what's the reason you're here?
Yeah.
I have done lessons where I've been with a kid for 2 hours watching him hit it, thinking, what is he doing here? He hits it so good.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes left, he says, hey, you know what? I actually came because I wanted you to look at my chipping and my pitching. And I'm like, all right, refund, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's very important that, people either have an idea or no idea on what they want to get better at and why. You spoke about direction's pretty good, but more of a contact issue.
With my irons, I'd love to compress my irons a little bit more.
Okay.
I just feel that I can get a little...
You drive it good?
A little spinny. Yeah, I'm pretty accurate with the driver.
Okay.
I'm pretty accurate all round, really. But with my irons, I'd love to compress it a little bit more. With the driver, I'd love to get a little bit more optimum from launch and spin. I'm a little squeezy and down on it, which is great for the irons, but not great for the driver. Definitely for me, I'd love to be able to just feel like I can compress it a little bit more from a consistency standpoint.
If you have a directional miss, is it like gun to your head, you've hit good shots all day, is it going to be weak right or hard left?
Right.
Right. Okay, so contact and it going right. Ultimately, the move that you're creating that's affecting the contact is also opening the face, right? So they're a 1-to-1 ratio. Look, let's just keep hitting a few more.
I reckon it's at least 25 years since you've had a lesson. That'd be right.
Probably not far off. It'd be interesting to get your thoughts, Sean, as well today. There's certain things that in my swing that I don't like to see.
Love to, yeah. No, the thing is, this is, especially when I'm with a better player,
Yeah.
you could look at anyone's swing and go, you know what, that's there, that's there. We struggle to see ourselves because of the belief systems and the narratives. It's really all about where the speed comes from, okay? And so we obviously have to create friction against the ground. We have some linear, we have some torque, and we have some vertical, which really just optimally matches human walking. So when people say, do you teach weight shift? I mean, I don't have to because people walk. So they naturally move from heel. And the interesting thing about the golf swing too is when we land in the heel, we're maxed out in thoracic rotation. And so it's literally the same as a golf swing. And I think if you look at some of the great ball strikers and you watch their gait cycle when they walk, they glide.
Yeah.
You can see how Rory walks. Beautiful movement, lots of rotation, up and down, and then you see how he swings.
Yeah.
And what we see on tour with, as far as it relates to back pain, we'll see guys who hit 400 balls and their back's fine. They walk 9 holes and their back's done. So I never thought 20 years ago when I got on tour that I would be consulting experts in human walking.
Yeah.
But right?
Yeah.
But it's got to be the basis of all movement.
Yeah.
Period. So
You do realise all the people watching this now are going to be bouncing around like Rory. I need to change my walk, man.
I need a new walk.
well, you watch DJ. It looks like he's in slow motion,
Yeah.
and then you walk next to him, and your heart rate's at like 140. He's walking so fast, it's just so elegant, right?
Yeah.
And so, looking at the numbers all check out. The numbers aren't really. They're helping me with the miss.
Yeah.
Okay. The face is technically most often open to the path. Minor. So that's the other thing in the lesson too, is that you're very aware of what you do. A lot of people don't know, and they'll say, I do this, this, and this, and you're like, you actually don't do that, right? So that's a big part. So for me, where we run into where we run into swing killers, right, is how many of us were told to keep our left arm straight?
Yeah.
Okay? So I want to play around with you a little bit on this, right? And this also lends itself into why David Woods and I designed something that's on your right hand and not your left in a world of flexing, right?
Yep.
Most right-handed golfers are right-handed people. Good friend of mine, Mark Bull. I'm sure you guys have met Mark's. The theory is that the trail arm is probably the most important part of the whole golf swing because this is our throwing hand if we're right-handed people. So when you watch a Tom Brady, when you watch the great quarterbacks, the great pitchers in baseball, these guys all get into golf pretty quickly because they've played their whole life in extension, pronation, and then they have athletic movement. The batters, funny enough, they don't play well because they're the most this way and the most this way, which isn't really golf.
Yeah.
Unless you can do some crazy stuff over here and deliver it from over here. But there is such a thing as too shallow.
Yeah.
This is a real thing, okay? So I'm gonna get you to do this and I want your feedback. So obviously we have these two hands that have different purposes. And so the left hand is gonna be rear delt and lat and intercostals and obliques. And then the right arm is gonna be more tricep, shoulder, and pec, all right? So do this for me. So go left hand only, all right, and I don't want you to try and kill it, but I want you to try and hit this ball with the left arm staying straight the whole time, okay? You've already felt how weak that feels, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it feels weak. So just hit a shot, yeah?
Sure, mate. Okay, so I've never seen anyone do this and flush it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've done this with some serious players, right? I mean, you're not too shabby, but I'm talking about like they're on TV every week, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand, like when I talk to my financial guy, it's like, how do we handle what's going on? It's not an opinion. He's like, I've looked at the data, I've looked at the math. He gives me his experiential opinion, but it's all based on facts. So my whole goal in golf has always been, how can I provide my student or my client with the best experience possible? And how much stuff have I now thrown in the garbage after 30 years? So after 30 years, where am I at? If someone said, what matters to you in the golf swing? What is that? Okay, so set up again. Try it again. Left hand.
Left hand again, yeah.
Yep. Keep it straight.
Okay.
Not bad, not bad. Okay, now on the next one, you're allowed with your left arm just to bend it as much as you want and then go ahead and hit it.
It's definitely hard to do with the left hand.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But this is an interesting thing, right? When you go to the gym, you just don't bench with one arm. Okay,
Nice.
so can you say to me that you feel like you could do that with the arm straight?
No, no chance. There's no way I'm gonna get that speed with the arm straight.
Okay, all right, now what we're gonna do is now we're gonna set up and we're gonna let the right arm bend a lot.
And a lot.
Okay?
Okay. And hit a shot?
You got it, mate. Yeah, just bend it as much as you can.
Okay.
This is basically a bet that me and Sean had that we couldn't get him to do this crazy stuff in the video, and Sean's winning the bet.
I said he's too handsome. We got to make him look crazy here, right? How hard is that?
Really hard.
Okay, now, here's what I want you to do. Now what I want you to do is keep the right arm wide. So I just want you to feel like that right arm is nice and wide and stiff the whole time.
More here or more?
Yeah, just wide. Yeah, it's going to bend. There's no way to not bend it. Much more chance, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so now picture this. Picture me as a kid, hitting it, slicing it, hitting it nowhere, with a glove under my arm, with my left arm that way and my right arm that way.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Because what happens is the left arm, how many guys have we seen at Impact who are great players who are like this?
Yep.
Quite a few. So when I was a kid and they say you need to have your left arm straight, and I'm like, well, what about this guy? Oh, he's really talented. That's always the answer was talent. And then I see Westwood, I see Brooks, I see all these guys. Well, the good thing is I've communicated with enough people who are really smart and go, why is this possible? Oh, because of this, this, and this. I'm like, oh, interesting. So what I figured out was when Dave and I put the Pro Center together, we bent it to 51 degrees, which is the tour average. Amateurs are between 10 and 30. So the difference is the tour players around 51, pretty neutral with the left hand, and then their right arm always has less elbow bend than amateurs. So amateurs, tour players there, amateurs there. That's the most glaring difference. Okay, so if you'll set up for me here, because this is leading into our lesson. I like to stall people in the backswing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So make a backswing for me.
I like it.
Well, I just like them to learn, oh shit, from there, this is the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so take, just make your backswing. Okay, stop. Okay, so if I do this now, so I've cupped it, I had some bend, right? And now I'm in this position here, okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give it a hit.
Woo. Okay.
And he's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a very good player.
Yeah.
He has no chance from there.
No chance.
And you're really good. So that talent thing is garbage, right? This is all about math. Okay, so now set up again, up to the top, same position. Okay, now I'm not gonna cup the wrist as much, but I'm going to get the hand path more out over here.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and give it a hit. Did you feel the extension?
Yep.
You had to kind of go this way. All right, so set up for me now. And they'll be able to see in the downline camera where that is actually frozen at. Mm-hmm. So we know now that narrow with the right arm and cup, that if he sat here for 2 hours, he will top every single ball.
Yeah, he's not getting anywhere near.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so up to the top now. Okay. Now push the hands over to me a little more. Okay. A little wider with the right arm. Okay. All right, now go ahead and give it a hit. How'd that feel?
Yeah.
Regardless of the shape, just the opportunity.
Yeah, much easier to hit the golf ball.
So ideally with you, it would just be, we're gonna get where the feet are a little more flared, and then we're gonna use more width.
Yep.
Okay. Like my buddy Butch Harmon talks about, width and letting the body turn. That almost takes care of 89 out of 100 golfers. It's really important. Okay. So we're gonna get in here a little bit more, and we can use the Pro Center to aid the feeling. But I want you to feel much more this way.
Yeah.
Whereas I want this to stay in forward bend.
Okay.
If you look at the Morikawas and you look at Rahm and you look at Javi, they're not this way at all.
Yeah.
Their heads are not centered. Their hips almost move towards the target, but they're much more in this reach mode.
Yeah.
So I think pivot-wise, if we can get to where we feel like we're really trying to corkscrew this foot and feeling like the buttons on our shirt get more over our right side. Okay. So set up with just the pivot first. Okay, so turn the feet in where you kind of feel natural.
So that's probably more of a natural place.
Yep. This foot was okay, but that foot's definitely screwed. Yeah. Okay, so now make a backswing. Okay, so if you start extending, can you keep going?
No.
You see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Right?
So what you want is a little more of this.
Okay, now let me see how that feels.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then more into...
I want that chest to be more over that leg.
Yeah.
Okay, do you feel that?
Yep.
That's such a big difference.
This you should feel is on.
Oh, I can feel, yeah.
That's on, that's off.
Yeah.
That's all, like those spinal erectors are all pretty relaxed. Yeah. Sit up again.
And my hips as well. Mm-hmm. External rotation is tight on this. Mm-hmm. Internal rotation is tight on this one.
Yeah, so external, basically being able to hold in this position.
Yeah.
So why would there be hip slide? We can have hip slide. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if he's going to move that way that much and be narrow, that's going to be the stand-up, jammed up.
And the bad finish, Randy, as soon as he's hit it, I mean, we know that obviously the ball's
the one-arm special?
One-handed, and it spins that way.
But this is it, though, because what'll happen is he gets in here and he has to stop the right side, so now it's just a pulling motion. Yeah. That's why he feels like that.
Yeah, and then it's just a...
There's no push.
Right side can't stay. Right side can't stay on it.
Yeah.
There's no push.
Yeah.
And so that's always more strike based. You know, you can hit it heavy, or what you get as well is you get the divot that starts over here.
Yeah, with the short irons especially.
100%.
Like long irons and stuff, it's there. But if I've got a wedge in my hand, sometimes if I'm on a par 3, like teeing it up, like sometimes that real late one, where it can come out super low and.
Yeah, no, it'd be overall skanky. So Right?
Overall skanky, I love it.
Overall skanky.
I often say that to him just about him personally.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. You could probably finish each other's sentences right now, right? It's like my mom and my dad sitting there, and I'm having a talk with them, and my dad's getting ready to talk, and my mom's going. I'm like, do you ever say anything that surprises one another? They're like, no, not at all. Like, we don't at all, right? So set up for me there. Okay, so don't let the right leg inhibit the motion that we want.
No.
Okay.
So do you want me to rehearse a backswing now?
Sure. But I want you to feel like you're literally reaching for that street, and I'm not even worried about the wrist hinge.
Okay.
Okay.
So you just want me to really feel that I'm reaching over here, yeah?
And really feel like I want you to keep the grip away from your body.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Up to the top. Okay. Now I think that you're able to be here.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just because of how your eyes work, but sometimes at the top your head's that way.
Yeah.
So that makes it really hard to turn.
Yeah. I used to kick and I probably still do it a little bit. There's like a little kick this way. I think it's just more habitual than anything else.
Now playing, never would focus on any of this.
No.
I'm just gonna go play.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you were to set up there, and I was just to get this left ear turned to the ball a little more Nicholas style.
Yeah.
Okay. Now go ahead and do what we're trying to get. You see how there's less limit?
Yeah.
So remember, if this is your C-spine here, so if this C-spine is turning this way in the backswing, I'm going to be limited this way, which means I'm probably going to end up doing that to feel like I have enough range to hit a golf ball.
It's funny, isn't it? Because all of what you've just talked about there comes back to a lot of actually just the engine really being able to have a good pivot motion to kick off.
And that's the reason that I won't work so often with amateurs pivots is because a lot of people just can't move.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, if I'm getting, most amateurs who come to me hit slices, I mean, I have no problem dropping their right foot back to make sure that we can get some
element of rotation.
Yeah, so your path very neutral.
Yeah.
It's between 0 and 2. So you do all that stuff well, and we're going to see good path numbers in people who do slide. Like slide's a bad word, but it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. I mean, this is part of human movement for sure, right? So set up for me again there. So I want you to almost feel like your hands are, don't worry about getting anywhere by parallel, but just I want you to feel like the hands are going to touch me. I'm over here. There you go. That in that position right there. Okay, do it again.
What does that feel to you, Andy? Say, just tell people watching this as well.
Just like a huge stretch on the lat there.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
But also I feel like I'm now getting my chest and exaggerating it here.
Well, the
Obviously,
thing is, if we took him now into the gym, right, and he's throwing med balls, he's not going to go this way.
No.
If we were somewhere and we had to, like, quickly, there was a hurricane coming, we had to put sandbags down, and we were in a line passing sandbags. If Pierce is there, I'm here, I'm throwing it to you. If he's throwing it to me, he's going to throw me the sandbag like this. I'm going to catch it this way and go that way to you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we fell in love with being too centered. And being centered, like rotating around a single axis, is a fantastic theory. It's a great theory. Like young Bryson, to literally have his head not move ever. When he started hitting at 400 yards, he was moving.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Something changed.
First time I watched him and he was trying to do a single axis, ulnar, setup, purely ulnar, basically Mo Norman, and then not have his head move and have the club go up and down on the same line, he was still at 176 ball speed. I mean, that's the slowest way to swing golf club, right? So when he wanted to hit it further, went like this, picked this up, got longer, turned more. And so for him, I think he'll get some of his speed because he'll let that club kind of run off and it'll give him enough time to go. I want him to feel like we're going to be doing it a little bit more through torque and do it through using the anterior and posterior slings of the body to create elastic energy. And then keep making sure that the hand path is there, because I want him to learn to compress the ball, but compressing it with that.
Yeah.
Right? Pros say cover. Yeah, it's really hard to compress it like this. If I'm in here and I'm going to compress it, man, I better be gifted in side bend.
Yeah.
To get and that's the thing, is the guys who can do that, it's amazing because they don't have back issues. So they're just, the way their vertebrae are, they're just kind of very lucky, right? So let's do this as a reminder. So we're going to start with the ball first.
This is absolutely fantastic. Some great wisdom from Sean here. Now, look, if you want to make sure you don't miss any other future videos with special guests like this, make sure you subscribe and hit that like if you're enjoying the video. Let's get back to
This might go 80 yards. So all I want you to try and do is learn how to maintain. I want both arms to feel like they don't change. Okay? Yep. And through on both sides. So go for it. So I want to really feel like that triangle that you have here, Andy, is never going to change.
Doesn't change.
On either side. Okay, good. Again. There we go. Good. Now stay there. Now push the pelvis to the sky with both legs. There you go. So I want, in this drill, I want this to be tall.
Okay.
Okay? Which you'll obviously push down to do that.
How you feeling,
It's not easy. Actually, this isn't easy. It's not easy.
I'm glad. I said to Sean before, I said make it as hard as possible. I want him in ruins at the end of it.
This motion looks simple, but it's actually like it's taking some focus, and it's not easy.
I mean,
here's the thing though, right? It's like you take vitamin C and vitamin D, you could never put your finger on how it's making you feel better.
Yeah.
You just don't get sick.
Yeah.
And so this to me is one of the vitamins. Like a long arc drill is, whether it was Lydia or Rosie or Ben On or Cameron Champ or whoever it is, the only thing I coach to everyone is they all have to do pause drills, and they have to do what I call 9 to 3.
Yeah.
Right, which they hate. A lot of people like to lift weights. They walk past the stretching mats on the way out.
This is the stretching, isn't it?
This is our stretching.
This is the stretching.
This is perfect. This is this 9 to 3 long arc.
You got it. You got it. I think it should be mandatory for everybody.
Especially you guys watching this right now. This is the way that he's going to look through the golf ball. There aren't many of you watching this video who are going to look like through the golf ball.
And you can feel there's more rotational value.
Yeah.
See, I didn't pull it as much.
Yeah.
So I think what happens, because you've been in here, and this kind of goes this way as you extend.
Yeah.
Is that you would end up being kind of knock-kneed through the ball.
Yeah.
Because you're just literally trying almost not to fire anything so you can get the arms back down.
Yeah.
Right? If like you said, I like to hit, like this is good awareness again. I like to hit a lot of soft shots. I like to hit, when you go and you try to hit it as hard as you can, you get that miss way more.
Oh yeah, no question. And I get totally blocked off to the point where I'm like...
He's applying more force to create more speed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Okay,
yeah.
One more time. Good, very good. So I really like the feel of this width. The width, I really do, because I know in my mind it's where I'd like to be. But there you go. But that's my job. You knew exactly what you wanted, right? So go ahead and a couple more.
10 to 2 still.
Yep. 10 to 2.
It's actually 10 to 3.
So here.
Yep. Now let's do a follow through with me here.
Yep.
Okay, back down. I don't want you to hit me.
Okay, just a through swing.
Yeah. Well, no, just a little little takeaway. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
You've had to rake it around and swing left sometimes because you stay in flexion.
Yep.
Okay, so you're not going to get any more rotation after that flexion point.
Yep.
And that's also I think that's the double whammy on the driver, is that not only does it get narrow, it then gets across the ball. So your path with a driver could actually start moving left is where your irons are to the right.
Yeah.
On TrackMan. I mean, I haven't seen it, but potential.
Yeah. So here.
Yep, and miss me. Lovely.
And miss you.
Yep.
You're going to stay there?
No, absolutely not.
I was like, what is this guy doing?
Like, what?
I spent too many times with neuroscientists to stand over there, bud. Beautiful.
So on this,
see how it took the pull out? That's gorgeous.
And this bit here, like you say, this bit here is like this belt buckle trying to get up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah. And the thing is, he needs push off, because when we'll see people's feet go like this, think about all the times when we were kids, and they're like, keep your foot down. And then we kept our foot down and hit it really bad.
Yeah.
Okay? If you are struggling in external rotation, you're going to have to push the femur this way in order to be able to get what you can out of it. So when you look at a guy like a Lucas Glover, and I mean, have you guys seen him hit it? It is a joke, right? I mean, that's top of my list for purest ball strikers I've ever seen. Lucas's foot stays on the ground to like here. well, he's just this, that's a specimen. Yeah. That's really, really hard to do.
This for me, you know, as we spoke about, it's like it's a gym move that he does. It's like it's a deadlift into some almost rotation through the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, even like when Sasho and I and Kevin Duffy were doing some stuff, we used to throw kettlebells, but we throw the kettlebell like back around us. But we didn't do it by applying any forces. It was just really the momentum and the timing of it.
Yeah, just let go at the right time.
But yeah, I mean, ideally the arms will not swing left in golf. I know they look like they're swinging left, but my arms are really, you take my body out of it, my arms are really doing this. Now, and I turn, they look like they've come in. When I turn, they look like they've come in. But they're very linear.
Yeah.
So for him to get rid of to get the face better, when he comes over to 2 o'clock, I would want him to feel like he's not going to hit me with that. But look at, he's showing his whole body.
Yeah.
Right?
But that move there is great, isn't it? Like you say, do that again, Andy. So this is just a great thing for you watching this. As Sean said, he's showing his whole body to the target, but his arms are only gone to here.
Yeah, and the thing is, his arms are telling this what to do.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we go like this,
I'm not thinking about my turn here. I'm just thinking about getting the arms into a position.
There you go, 100%. And then being, you know, I always tell my guys, be a statue in the finish. Just be in the finish, be as tall as you can be, because you should be getting taller.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the major determinants of power and attacking, right? Okay, so set up one more time. So I'm here when you hit this next ball. Okay, 10-2.
It feels really wide on the way back.
Yep, no, it's good.
I like it though.
It's definitely good for you. Lovely. So remember you talked about compression?
Yeah.
Are you starting to feel that?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Not so glancy. Mm-hmm. Looks compressed, but doesn't feel compressed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now a really good feel. So that's what I like about the ball. People struggle with the ball making a full swing. I think Karen Champ's the only one who can use it with a driver and go at normal club head speed.
So for me with this, because I get this sort of separation and narrowness, if you like, me using this ball as just this feedback to create this, to keeping these together, and the width is a good thing for me to train.
Yeah, and the thing about, you know, part of like the advent of the Pro Center is funny because Hogan said he wished he was born with 3 right hands. Yeah. He said that, and then he said that he felt that the elbows always need to stay very close to each other in the golf swing.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, they're going to expand and change, but Hogan wanted the elbows together, and then he wanted 3 right hands to pour the release on because he knew how much that left hand was.
Yeah.
So it's really, the funny thing is, from the Golf Machine, which I learned initially, and then 5 Lessons, which I read religiously, the whole life has really been about the wrist angles. And then the pivots, obviously, I learned with the body movement. I learned from all the physios and chiros and athletic trainers on how the body moves. So for you now, for the right hand, that is where this would come into play. And you know, when I use this, every single one of my tour players use this.
Yeah.
Like this is what I wouldn't give it to Victor Hovland because it's not enough. And another certain guy like Phil Mickelson likes the ball between his hands. He really struggles to get his wrist on the cradle. He's 53 years old. He's been pretty much cuppy his whole life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Look, you guys have coached a bunch of lessons too. How hard is it to teach people wrist angles?
Oh yeah.
It's so tricky. It's so tricky. So that's why we wanted to build something that, one, doesn't do it to you. People say, oh, this reminds me of this. But no, I'm not there. I'm not staying there. I have to start normal and then I have to go there. So I actually have to do it myself, and that's why as a tool it's helpful. If it does it for you, you're not learning anything.
Yeah, of course.
You know? Okay, now some players like to put a little bit more on top there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we've got strong grip guys and we've got weak grip guys. So now we're gonna do, with this on, we're gonna do 9-3. So show me that 9 o'clock position. Still trying to feel that triangle's good. Yeah, we're just always trying to keep this here, which is why we need that to turn to help us do it. So if this doesn't turn, the only way to get to the top is to just
use those arms.
You got it. Okay, now on the way through, I want you to feel like you can almost touch me with that golf club. So I'm over here. Okay, again. Okay, even reach more.
Here.
Yep.
Or here.
There you go. Lovely.
So more of this.
You got it.
And less of this.
Yep. Okay, so show me a few of those. And I'll just give you a slight reminder over here.
And do you want me to finish in more here, or do you want to?
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
No,
No?
as long as it goes through that.
Okay. So more here.
Mm-hmm. You got it. Excellent. Excellent. Compression?
Yeah, nice.
Right?
Nice. Okay, let's try a shot.
Okay.
I've really got to slow it down though, and
That's
just
fine, mate.
And just really
you got to do it
pay
as
attention.
you
What
can
you
do with
want,
that.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. So you see how there's no wipe rights?
Yeah, no.
But I love this, and I think again you can learn so much from this. And you know, I will talk about a lot of like 3 phases of okay, slow first, which is Andy stopping the pause drills that you talk about. This is kind of smooth because this is continuous motion, but keeping it smooth, and then we put the speed in. Then we go full swing.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt that you just go through those exact. So he can get more into like a full swing now.
Yeah, of course.
This feels
Yeah,
like
well,
this feels like it's a full swing.
That's gorgeous. Yeah. No. Yeah, there'll be more momentum.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Right? So go to there again. So
Calling him gorgeous there's the first time anyone since his mother's ever said that, by the way.
Okay, so if I now get this real narrow, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So what would you have to do from there to feel like you could start down and create power? So move it back out to me again. So this is, I don't mind you doing, let me show you.
Yeah.
I don't mind you doing kind of here and getting to here. Now this feels completely dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I push it away until I feel like, oh, that's a green light.
Yeah.
So it's a good feeling for someone who's been narrow of how to feel the opposite, is just get super narrow and then get it away from you as much as you can.
That's an example of one of those pause drills,
Step 4 in Pure Your Irons, isn't it, Piers?
Say again?
Step 4 in Pure Your Irons or something.
There you go,
I got that
there you
one.
go.
I got this in 2000. I was working the range at the Canadian Open, not as a coach, just I worked at the academy there, and David Ledbetter was doing this with Aaron Badley. I think it was Badley. It was one of them. But they were going here, boom, out, and then hitting. And then I tried it and was like, oh, that works. Okay, so show me what I just showed you. So just kind of pick it up, put it on your shoulder. Okay, so you can get the wrist angles how you want them though.
Yeah.
There, that's nice. Okay, now turn.
Now when I'm turning, I'm feeling like I'm still in a bit more flexion.
Yep. Okay, now get the arms away. Okay, give it a hit. Okay, good. Do it again. And when you do something like this, it just takes the brain a few shots to get the timing right.
Would you want him being off the deck all the time?
Sure.
Yep.
Turn. Okay, now get those arms where you feel like you have a chance. Give it a hit. Excellent. Excellent. So you can see how important that is that you get them back away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen guys like a Corey Connors, and that boy is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
He's kind of here at
Yeah.
the top, and this transition, he goes wham.
He does, yeah. You can really notice that first move here.
Greg Norman talked about it. Jack Nicklaus talked about it.
TPI talk about that as a fifth lever almost, don't they?
Well, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Turn it. Now show me extended. So you feel where that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so start from the bottom again. And just, I want you to go into that backswing point.
And hit or stay?
Yeah, just pause for a sec. Okay, give it a hit. Excellent. So the thing is, right, we're pausing, we're stopping. That's making everything more difficult. So the best thing about the pause for me is why I like it the most, is because when people can hit it well from being dead paused, you know that that is their position. Yeah. So now we'll just hit some, and I think for you, I would like you to practice with a more middle ball position.
Yep.
Because I think if you
it does go, it is forward for me.
And if it gets too forward for you, how much are you gonna do this?
Yeah.
You're probably gonna do more of this.
Yeah.
Especially how you like to look at it.
Okay.
And then you slide to go get it even more.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's that like, Piers?
Is that bang in the middle?
I think you can go 1 more inch back. There we go.
That feels like a punch shot.
Yeah. Shaft lean is good.
Yep. There we go. Lovely. So that would be the first part. And we would work from here to here. Like if you're on tour and I'm coaching you, we're gonna work on that for 2 years. We ain't even gonna bounce anywhere else. And that's where I feel like I'm better than I've ever been, is I understand, one, that learning is a very slow process as it relates to human movement. There's no shortcuts. Tinkering is guaranteed, no chance of becoming successful doing that. And that's just, you know, that's like fad diets, right?
Yeah.
Of it. I'm actually really excited to test it out and do it, because I just know what I've been working on for so long or thinking about. But knowing where I want to get to and how to get there was a very different story. Yeah. I think it's a good point as well for the guys at home is to go, well, the realistic expectations of now what you've just said, what I've just done there with you, I'm like, okay, for the next 12 months to 2 years, I'm going to work at this. Not for the next week or 2 weeks and go, I should have it nailed in the next 2 weeks. I've been playing golf a long time. These patterns are deeply embedded. So it's setting those expectations. Exactly, yeah, they're there.
Unless we did like a lobotomy or you had a stroke or whatever.
They're not going anywhere.
No, they're not. And look, a lot of those patterns is why you're a good player too. But this is, I just think when we're dealing with mechanics, I just know that an open face and a bent right arm is a death move. Yeah, it's game over.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll put all the links to Sean. Make sure you follow him on all the socials. Check out the Pro Center. I'm going to be using this as well a lot over the next few months, or 2 years, let's say. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, guys.